What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mac, and coming to you again with another episode of the Dre Mac Show. 7:30 in the morning, Central Time, 8:30 on the East Coast. Uh, Good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone that is in here today. I'm going to be discussing what I'm going to get into today. Is going to be discussing episode three. I'm sorry, episode four of X-Men 97. So we got to get in. We got to get into it. I think that this has been awesome so far. Especially the way that the episode has been going. A lot of comic book references in everything that's been going on. Uh, Again, I think this has been some of the best writing that that you've seen on television. And again, this is following a lot of good storylines from the comics. So that's what I'm about. I'm ready for. So we're gonna discuss this today. Haven't did a breakdown like this in a minute. So of course, I'm going to be on Disney Plus, uh, just showing you guys some of the images, talking about it, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So again, hopefully you guys are happy. Hopefully you guys are healthy. Shout out to my man Heavy Gant over at the Heavy Gant channel. But you already know how we do it. The real question is, all right, all right, all right, all right. Give me just a second. Uh, and let's go ahead and get some stuff started. Uh, this is for anybody in the comments section. If you watch this on the replay, how are you liking X-Men 97? Is it, is it as it fulfilled your expectations? Do you think it could be better? Today was, I would say this is a, half of it was a filler episode and half of it was a, moving on the storyline. But how are you liking X-Men 97? If you're watching this on a replay, make sure to put it in the comments section below. All right, give me just a second. And going to get to some of the people that's in the chat right now. Again, if you're in a chat, make sure that that you hit that like button. Let me know because this is why you should, if you're especially if you're new to the channel, I used to do breakdowns on shows. I did it with Bel Air. I did it with Secret Invasion, certain other shows. So let me know if you want me to continue this breakdown on here. I didn't do it for the first couple episodes. Uh, I didn't do it for last week's episode, which I thought that was, that was a excellent episode. But if you want me to continue to do this, let me know in the comment section below, so I could be able to give you a breakdown every Wednesday of this show. I think the show has been awesome. Just me personally, I think this show has been awesome. I'm really enjoying it, all of that. So let me see who's all in here. Frankenstein's, what's up? Torin Lane Reloaded, what is up? What is up? What is up? Tracy Woods, what is up? Roberta is in the house. What's up? Junior Network is in the house. Good morning to all of you guys. Peace and blessings to y'all. Roberta said, "Ba ba 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 bam. I'm loving it." That's what's up. That is what's up. I think this is a really good show there now, because this is a telling of an original tale, or of a tale back in the old X-Men Chris Claremont days, there is a couple things that I would say that it is kind of missing. Well, that's different from the not kind of missing, but it's different from the original story. And of course, they had to kind of change it up because of the time period and all of that. So I completely understand why some stuff is a little bit different than the comic book, So, but nonetheless, I'm completely enjoying this show. Of course, when I'm doing this breakdown, there is going to be some skipping because some skipping, and the music is going to be out. You know what I mean? So I just kind of want y'all to be aware of that. But I'm like I said, I'm absolutely loving the show. I think this has been good. Persetta, you said you just finished the episode. I'm going to go over this episode with you guys. If you have not watched it, just spoiler ahead, you probably want to go home. Or if you're already at home, you probably want to click off of here. Yeah, I'm giving you guys that warning now. I'm gonna do it like this. Uh the kind of it's just the way. I don't want to get in trouble with Disney Plus because I've done this before and I found a loophole on how to do it. So there's not gonna be any music, any sound. I am going to be skipping ahead. I think this is like 15, 10 seconds, just kind of explaining what happened in the episode. If there were certain Easter eggs and stuff like that, I want to be able to do it live so you guys could be able to see it if this is your first time being on this journey with me. So let's go. We start off the episode with Magneto, Remy, which Gambit, and oh god, and Rogue. And of course they're eating breakfast. They got the muffins, going on in here and everything. Now, mind you, this first half of this episode is playing off of Jubilee's birthday. She just turned 18, and she wants to go kick it. What's up, Andre Ware? So this is a character development moment. It is pushing the romance between Jubilee and Roberto. I call him Sunspot, between her and Sunspot. So that's what this episode starts off, that goes in the first half of it. But we start off with Magneto. Of course, Magneto's up here sipping his drink because he's making coffees. You know what I mean? And, he mentions, what kind of coffee that Rogue has. And you can see the love triangle tension that's going on is very reminiscent of Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean's relationship, and she was telling him how, letting him know what kind of sugar that she liked. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, sugar, he liked 3. So that was you could just tell there's tension in the air. Then we go in, Jubilee steps in. It's her birthday. And they're asking her, which at first I thought this was a dream sequence just because of the way Wolverine is acting, kind of with Jubilee in this. Like, yeah, the big hairy Rogaine, got a point. What do you want to do for your birthday, Jubilee? This is the way he's acting. You know what I'm saying? I thought maybe this is a dream sequence, but this was actually part of the episode. Because I just never seen Wolverine just be that friendly. But I know he was. It is just because they changed the way Wolverine acts from time to time in the animated series. So he's not as rough as he was in the original X-Men show. So she's saying, hey, let's go to an arcade. Let's chill out. Let's go have fun. It's my 18th birthday. And this is the face Magneto was making. It's like, nah, son, we ain't gonna go do that. You know what I mean? So she starts mocking him, like, like how is the what is it? I forgot the line that he uses, but how I'm gonna go from being Magneto to being somebody who's out here playing childish games, basically. And she gets pissed off, and she's venting to Roberto. in this scene, or Sunspot. Let me just call him Sunspot. She's venting the Sunspot in this, and he was telling them, that hey, I don't, really play video games, but maybe he has a point. Maybe you probably need to grow up a little bit, and he was like, hey, we want to play this Motendo, which if you look at it, the controllers are definitely inspired by Genesis. It looks like a mix between the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, but it has more Genesis looks. And to me, that looks more like the X-Men Genesis game from the original from X-Men. Back on the Genesis, they used to have they had a video game called X-Men at that time. And to me, that cartridge looks just like the X-Men video game. And I'm gonna show you what I mean, as kind of an Easter egg to that game, because there's a couple other, Easter eggs that they use in this episode that you will see exactly what I'm talking about here in a moment. Trying to clear my I'm over here like, let me clear my throat. Now if you look, and I'm going to share, I'm going to share my screen real quick, but I'm going to show you on the episode, it shows that, right? But on the actual game itself, which is right here, and again, this is an old X-Men video game for Sega Genesis. Let me share. Forgot to share my screen, my bad. And I'm going to full screen this. You can see where the X-Men for the Sega Mega Drive, or this we already know it was the Sega Genesis. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was one of my favorite games of all time. Was that X-Men video game for the Sega Genesis. Very dope game. Very, very dope game. So that is one of the Easter eggs that they use in this episode that I'm talking about. They use right in that episode. So they're playing Motendo, which you couldn't get me to play no Motendo. You know what I mean? Or because she didn't know. He was like, where did that come from? That's not even mine. Yeah, Motendo. I had a Super Nintendo, right? You know what I mean? And like I said, this is a Genesis, but they had to kind of switch it up or whatever, So I do like the animation here where they're kind of getting sucked in, mixed in with what Mojo was trying to incorporate and move them into the Mojo world, which if you don't know who Mojo is an alien from the planet Mojo world. He's basically a play off of these television executives who's all they think about is ratings. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a metaphor for that. They wake up in the video game where they get attacked by a sentinel in this scene. So they're getting attacked by a sentinel. Then FOH comes in, and now, mind you, she doesn't know what's going on. They think this is real, but this is part of the video game, which is the Friends of Humanity. But I'm thinking FOH means something else, like F out of here. You know what I mean? I don't want to cuss, but you know what I mean. And I think they was trying to be slick, because that's what they used to tell a lot of other people. Hey, this is my property. Don't come over here. Out of here. You know what I mean? They ain't slick. I know. I seen it. I synced it. So they're still battling, these guys, and they have this is a complete reference to the Matrix. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when they get the phone call from the phone booth and it starts kind of glitching, it immediately put me in the mindset of the Matrix when they had to go to the telephone to escape. So they go over to the telephone, they talk, and then bam, almost as seriously like the Matrix, from the movie where they get sucked in. So now they're seeing this is Genosha. If you ever watch the original X-Men, this is the island of Genosha where basically they were in camps, and you see the blob right here. God, is that not okay, you got Sunspot. Oh God, I can't think of dude's name shooting a fire out of his hands like Fire Fist. That's fire. It to me, it looks like Fire Fist. If you thinking somebody else, put it in the comments. But to me, there's a couple cameos in here, but that looks like Fire Fist that used to be part of the New Mutants. You know what I mean? So, and of course, Fire Fist was represented, in the Deadpool 2 movie also. And then you see this cameo also by a very, very, very white Domino. Now, of course, in Deadpool, they cast Zazie Beetz as Domino, but in the comics, uh, give us that look again. I synced it. Uh, but in the comics, Domino was white with a black mark. In the Deadpool movie, they switched it up and made her, the young lady is black with a white spot over her eye. And then there's some concept art. I've heard Rob Liefeld say himself that he kind of had the original idea look like what Zazie Beetz was, but they just he decided to change the color once it came to going to the storyboard. So you do, like I said, you do have a couple cameos that's in there. They go and they get attacked, by these soldiers. And do you see this mysterious figure, in this like cyberpunk 2099 thing? You know what I mean? What's up, James Willis? What's up? What's up? You know what I mean? But again, she's in a video game, and I don't know if you ever played a video game where somebody like you go to the edge of a world you're not supposed to be in, and you just kind of bounce off of it. That's basically what they pull right here, which I absolutely kind of love. And then again, you see kind of the glitching going on in the scene, and then we have our first appearance, in this series, in the '97 series of Mojo, which looks a little thin. In this. So, right, I had a little work here, a little work there. Again, this is super dope to me because then again, it gives new audience who's never seen X-Men, even though it's been on Disney Plus, from the beginning. If you've never seen the X-Men original series, you don't know who Mojo is. This is a great introduction to Mojo. Now, he explains through exposition that he is the ratings are down, everything sucks, so I'm turning to video games. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn to video games. So this is some scene. Actually, I believe this is some scenes from the episode, I think season 2, where they go to Mojo World. In season 2, I'm not mistaken, but I believe that's where this scene comes from. Or it could just be a scene that they recycled for this. So again, Mojo is going through explanation. He was like, Dazzler had a video game, but we're not going to talk about that. If you know the arcade X-Men game, Dazzler is on that game, and she's the least picked character on that video game. I thought that was hilarious that he mentioned that they had Dazzler was in the game, but we're not going to mention that. I thought that was excellent. And again, this is Bo DeMayo, who wrote this episode. And this is another, I don't think you guys, you probably know or probably don't know. But the old X-Men arcade game. Hold on. So the original X-Men arcade game was based on the original concept of the X-Men that preceded this X-Men. So I'm gonna share my screen just real quick so you guys can see the arcade. And let me full screen this real quick for you guys. So if you ever went to the arcade and you played the X-Men arcade game, which this is a replica of that thing is completely terrible. I don't like the way that looks. I'm not even gonna hold you. That looks bad. Uh, but the original arcade game had 6 players, and Dazzler is one of the players on the game. But the biggest Easter egg of that arcade game is that arcade game was actually coming from the 1989 X-Men cartoon that only had a pilot. It only had a pilot. Wolverine spoke Australian. You know, Dazzler was Dazzler was a part of. Was she a part of the episode? I believe she was. No, she wasn't a part of that episode. It was following Kitty Pryde in that original series, but they decided to make a video game out of what was supposed to be the X-Men, debut, and that's why they have on that look. Goes back to that original pilot episode that was supposed to come out but never ever aired. I think you can watch that on YouTube now. When you're finished with me, go and watch that episode. It's amazing. It is. You will get. It's amazing in the most hilarious ways possible. So, and they pay homage in this episode to that video game. So of course, the ratings is up. He calls them prisoners. Indigenous people who's watching the show. A little kind of callback to the Grandmaster. Again, this is little nuggets that I've been liking in this show. But she's the star of the show, not Dazzler. And then they do. Let me go back because I think they do something that you're going to be the star. It's not going to be like a different world. You know what I mean? But it had the cast. Let me see if I can go back. So you guys can see that. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Mojo was hella creepy in this episode. Very creepy. That is disgusting. What's going on? Blue is up in here. What's up? And yeah, Andre, to keep throwing in little nuggets, a little something that's in there, but Mojo looks very disgusting. I need him on film. I need Mojo World on film. They gotta do a Mojo. They could do it. They already introduced in the Deadpool movies. They already introduced Shatterstar, which he got incredibly killed, before he started doing some timey-wimey things in the with the timeline, going back in time and all of that. You know what I mean? So they have to introduce Mojo, Spiral, all those characters from Mojo World. So I do like this back and forth dialogue because he was basically telling her that, hey, you're going to be the star of the show. And that's when he mentions Dazzler. But like, oh, Dazzler was here, but we ain't going to mention her. You're going to be the star. And it's funny because I got to get to it. I hate kind of playing it because I got to stop. I got to play it a little bit. I got to stop because I don't want Disney to realize what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But again, he introduced the Motendo. Let me skip it a little bit. Just skip ahead. We're going to go to this. And he was letting them know that if you die here, you die in the real world. What's up, Joy? Here we go. Who's the boss? This is hilarious. Marquez, Joel Marquez, good morning to you. What's up? D Stizzle is in the house. What's up with it? So they do Who's the Boss. Yeah, I love this because the Roar is the only one like, Jesus Christ. I am not trying to good morning. I've been watching on TV, but I had to say good morning, Rosemary. So she's the only one that's looking like, Gene is there, like, Professor X, Magneto. This is hilarious. But it doesn't stop there. They do Who's About a Different World. Oh my God. This is why the writing on this show, the way they're pushing this show, it is so good. It is so, even though, let's be real, and I know, especially if you ever watch, if you're a Dragon Ball fan or you're a fan of any anime, we already know that MCU will make Mojo look like MODOK. You're hilarious. They probably would, but they got to make it look like that. Guy, I lost my train of thought. No, okay, so in anime, I don't know if you ever watched any type of like Dragon Ball, whatever, or any anime. They always have a filler episode. The half of this is all filler. It's great filler though. You know what I mean? It's great filler. And this here was amazing. Was amazing. You know what I mean? I loved every minute of this. You know what I mean? And then it's Summers versus Gray divorce court, especially after we know what happened in the previous episode with them finding out that he had a baby by a clone of Jean Grey. And oh man, this was great. Great callbacks, all of that. And again, they did this on the original show, but they're upping it a notch with this. This is amazing. This is amazing. So I love this part of the show. So again, what they're paying, if you don't know, they're paying homage to the original X-Men arcade game. So the look, in everything is from that arcade game. So nostalgic, so awesome. They basically did a Days of Futures Past type of look at here, but it's all pixelated. And it's funny, and everybody who's ever played the original Nintendo game, tell me this doesn't look like the original Nintendo game, X-Men game, the way Cyclops looks. I think that's Nightcrawler, that's Storm, that looks like Thanos. I mean, I don't know who the purple guy. Well, that's Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, Beast, Iceman. Don't know who that is. Is that Saber? No, that might be Sabretooth Darren. I don't know who that is. It's too pixelated for me. That's Gambit. I don't know who that is, who this is. I know it's Iceman. That looks like, I don't know who that is. That looks like Nightcrawler. But, again, it's pixelated, but this is awesome. This is awesome. But again, they're doing the X-Men video game from the original game, and it shows kind of back and forth. Of course, they beat the initial guys that was in there. Then you go and again, this mysterious figure keeps popping up in the episode. We get to find out who this mysterious figure is later on in the episode. But this here, I gotta kind of go back because they go into this into the Savage Lands, and then we get a cameo by Spiral. But if you know this here, that whole entire look is from the X-Men game, the original game. So I do like that. That's awesome. Of course, this lady with the 6 arms is Spiral. She was in the original X-Men 92 series along with Mojo. She's part of Mojo World. He's trying to get everything back online. But, they go to the final stage. And again, Asteroid M, this is straight homage to that original game where you fight Magneto at the end. And when I tell you this is one of the longest games in America, next to The Simpsons, oh my God, for an arcade game, this game gotta be to start from start to finish, has to be about 45 minutes. And that's playing with people. You know what I mean? At the arcade. I played this at the arcade. I'm like, good God almighty, this game is long. You know what I mean? I thought of that 92 Konami arcade joint. Yeah. What's up? Puma Lee is up here. But yeah, this is most definitely the arcade game. You know what I mean? So in this episode, in this particular scene, they knock that's what you they take out Sunspot. So she gotta defeat Magneto in this. And again, I'm skipping ahead if you guys are coming in, because again, I don't want to, unless it's a really important scene, I want to show you at least 10 seconds of it. You know what I mean? So I don't get in trouble, because what I'm doing, I'm not supposed to be doing, but I'm doing anyway. And then, she ended up defeating Magneto, and total victory. I love this. Reminds me of the old video games, but she has to try to get Sunspot back to life, and there's an Easter egg for a 1-up. Now, the Easter egg they have for the 1-up, let's see here. Let me go back. So, if you ever played the X-Men Genesis game, this reminds me of the X's that you would get in that video game. All right, so she gets the power up, spirals up here freaking out because she's trying to get everything back online. She saves Sunspot, and of course they're hitting to their romantic relationship in here, and it's like, hey, we got to get out of here. So again, she gets back on online. Then we find out who this mysterious figure is. The mysterious figure ends up being plot twist. It is Jubilee from the future. Now, to me, what I think this is I think this is a alternate version of Jubilee from another timeline where she actually chose to stay in Mojo World and in the video game or perfect the video game. You know what I mean? Because I believe she knew that her other self was going to eventually come into that video game itself. But again, she's perfecting the bots on here, getting all the hidden stuff. And what I do like, they have some anime. If you notice this series, when they want to get down, and again, this is perfect homage to that original game. It's perfect homage. You got Cyclops. I believe that's supposed to be Colossus, Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler. Who the hell is that Dazzler? I think that might be that might be Dazzler. In night. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm missing somebody from the game. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's the 6. Cyclops, Colossus, Wolverine, Storm, Nightcrawler, and Dazzler. But on this one, I believe that's Jean Grey. Because the way it looks like a blob version of Jean Grey. But then the original video game is Dazzler. All right. So Mojo comes in. And of course, this side panel X-Men game is Arcade 1-Up just redid their Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade cabinet, dropped the price after I done paid $100 more for my arcade cabinet for the original, just to put the X-Men 97 information on the side. So yeah, but to me, they do a lot of anime type of fighting in here, especially when both old and new Jubilee combine their powers. You know, to me that looks like an anime type of look, because we've never seen anything like this in the original cartoon. So I thought that was awesome. They destroy Mojo. You know what I mean? Spiral comes, takes over. They kiss. You know, with the fireworks again. Filler episode. This part filler, all filler, just to kind of move their plot along. You know what I'm saying? With the love. And they end up ending it just like an old cartoon. Then we go to Forge, Naruto vibe. Yeah, a little Naruto vibes on that one. You go to Forge. Now, in this one, they change it where Forge is actually in like a Montana, or I think he's in Montana or North Dakota, South Dakota, someplace like that. In the original comic, which I'm going to show you because I had all of this prepared for you guys today. So give me just a second. In the original comic, he actually lives in a like a high rise, like this futuristic high rise, and I'm gonna show you some clips of this. Let me see. Hold on. Let me share my screen, my entire screen. So in the original panel, I'm gonna show you, he lived in a high rise. Of course, this is the 80s, and a similar scene that they play out in here it doesn't go down the same in the comics, but it still has the same vibe. You know what I mean? So the vibe of Claremont's writing, which was explained, I was reading something earlier. Claremont took a liking to Storm and Wolverine in his writings. So a lot of writing to flesh out more of Storm and who she is. Claremont did an excellent job by doing that in here. So I wanted to show you guys, a couple of panels in here. So again, this played a lot like what they did in this episode. Of course, she goes back to Africa in part 2. So I want to see if they're going to have her go back to portions of Africa, a continent of Africa, what part of that continent, what they're going to do. But again, this was excellent writing in this episode. I give them a lot of props for what they did in this episode by fleshing out, who Storm is and why Storm is so important to the X-Men. So and they kind of speed run through this, but basically he's saying that he could be able to get her powers back. They kind of flirt, you know what I mean? She's starting to feel him a little bit, man. She done fed up some of that bison chili. Ladies in the chat, is that how a man try to get you with the bison chili? If a man could cook, you know what I mean? The men in here know if he can put down in that kitchen, is it a go? You let me know in the comment section below. So, so pours her some wine. She's infatuated, but you could tell she's still at a loss. You know what I mean? And what I mean by a loss, she's at a loss of she doesn't know who she is because they took away what made her, what she felt like that made her, and that was being a goddess. And they kept emphasizing that she's a goddess. So she goes out, tries to test her power. It does not work. So he takes her on a ride, or on some horses. She goes out and have self-reflection. And I think this is what makes it good. Even though this is the last 12 minutes of the episode, this is one of the, and so far, this is the shortest episode coming in at 29 minutes too. But she goes and she has a self-reflection and she starts to look at this eagle. This owl, and I know that owl in the wind, she starts explaining how the wind blows, but in this certain area, the wind can only move east, and her and Forge has that talk. My man Forge over there, you know what I mean? Giving her some encouragement, but has not told her the truth just yet. And again, I love this because, again, if you was a fan of Claremont's writing, then this literally, it's not a shot for shot. It's not, one for one from the comics, but it pays the ultimate homage. And the writing is just as good. You know what I'm saying? It's Claremont's and it's updated. You know what I mean? So that's awesome. That's amazing. 28 years. You know what I mean? Most definitely, when the 27 come, make sure to let me know. You know what I'm saying? So I can give y'all some love on the channel. You know what I'm saying? Presetta said that's how he got me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Gives you turbo gas for love, man. Jason is stupid for that. So again, she goes back, and I do like this because guess what group that is? If you know what this group is, put it in the comment section below. If you know this group who has not been really properly introduced. I mean, they did because they were in X-Men season 3. You know what I mean? But let me know if y'all know who this group is in here. Now, especially if you're a fan of the late 80s, early 90s, I was about to say X-Who. You know what I mean? But if you were a fan, you know what I mean, of X-Force, X-Factor, Excalibur, all of that from the also New Mutants. A lot of crossover was going in with with this. You know what I'm saying? And to me, this was amazing. This was amazing. When I seen this, I seen the clip. I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. You know what I mean? So let me keep going because I don't have that much time. So of course, he put her in the machine. Hey, X Factor. Yeah. But you got X Force, X Force, but that's actually it is X Force. Yeah, that was X Force. And then X Factor still had well, it depends on the year, but we'll get to that. But yeah, she was trying to check out her powers. Powers wasn't working. She starts to break down. And he kept reminding her that she is a goddess, you know what I mean? And everything, but she's breaking down emotionally. This was excellent writing because again, this is character growth. You know what I'm saying? Who are you besides your powers? And I like that. You know what I mean? But then they give it shot again. And this is Forge. You know what I mean? I'm trying to see who the guy is in the purple. Not that he got the best pancakes. You know what I mean? Got the Grand Canyon. But you know what I mean? This is when he was in the army and he actually did the test to be able to take away the mutant powers. Just to let y'all know, that's what that Easter egg is from. So, he's explaining how, he was in the war and, he had to be able to fix himself. But then he reveals that he is the one who had the prototype for the mutant collar to dampen the collars. And some scientists got the information and began to patent it. So yeah, Publi you stupid. He forgot he was strictly Mackin. You know what I mean? And he confesses his love to her. But the damage is done. But if you notice again, the outfit that she's wearing is similar to Forge was strictly Mackin. Oh, okay. But the outfit that she's wearing is a homage to that comic book panel that I showed you in Life Death, which this episode is Motendo Life Death part 1. But he confesses his love to her, told him that that I love you and all of that. I mean, this was kind of quick, but it was like, man, I love you. You know what I mean? And look at his face. And so Forge made the technology. Another scientist is the one who went further with it. You know what I mean? So he created the technology back when he was following orders in the army. So, he said, hey, baby, I love you. A pop! You got the shit slapped out of you. What's up, J-Rock? The Apostle was up here. What is up? She slapped the mess out of you. She said, out of anybody, you should know, being a mutant with all of your abilities and everything that you have, you should know, what you've done to me. So she runs away. Now, mind you, I don't know if this is a dream sequence or what it is. You know what I mean? But she starts to see these eyes, right? While she's running away. And I don't know what's great. And now, this is not from the comics. This is totally adjacent from the comics that, she falls in. Now, mind you, she does have a problem with claustrophobia. So we don't know where her mind is, if this is playing in her mind or what exactly is going on. But she fell through Forge's house. We don't know if this is a dream sequence or not. You know what I mean? So she falls through her house, which again, I know that you got superpowers and all of that. You know what I mean? But you busted your whole entire ass and you ain't got not one scratch. You and say, ow. That's just me, though. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, snap. So Forge comes over and, and helps her out. He was like, hey, I thought you was upstairs sleeping. Like, that's why I said that it gets real weird after this part. So then you see the house reconstruct itself, almost like what Demon Bear was doing in the New Mutants. I think of what is that? New Mutants number 10, when Demon Bear shows up. I got that comic too. I'm not pulling it out, but you know what I mean? So all of this comes out, and then you see this gigantic, which is coming, but you see this gigantic bird comes through. And what's cool about this is that the bird is actually voiced by the voice actress for Storm. You know what I mean? So he in this scene, you have to skip it, but the bird bites Forge, and he's incapacitated. And now the bird is latched on to Storm. And I think I forgot what hold on, let me put on the subtitles real quick. Or the closed caption, yeah. Put that on real quick. He says, I feast on misery, and I, the adversary. So this is the adversary. And I want to see, and I'm with you, Puma Lee. I want to see this payoff, because that is one creepy owl. And it's funny, she said she's seen that owl before. You know what I'm saying? And this is in the shape of an owl. You know what I'm saying? Now, all you had to do, Storm, at this point in time was give this man a Tootsie Roll Pop and see how many licks can he take to get to the center of it. Matter of fact, get a couple of them to keep him busy. You know what I mean? But, you know, she wins and she grabs her, grabs her up because she's feasting on her misery. So I kind of want to see where this goes, in part 2, which is coming next week. Again, to me, this has been great storytelling, mirror images to the actual comics, great references to the video games that came out back in the day. And I kind of thought it was Shadow King, but I also thought that it was Demon Bear also, but it's an owl. It's that owl that she's seen. So I want to see how this plays off. And again, this wasn't in the comics. This is totally adjacent from what Chris Claremont wrote in that original story. So I can't wait to see what happens next. This has been good. What are you guys thinking? Y'all been feeling this? Because this has been amazing to me.
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up. Wrap that shit up, B.
You already know what it is, man. I gotta hurry up and wrap it up. But what did you think? What did you guys think about the episode? Was you digging this episode? Was you having fun with this episode? Are you confused with this episode? Does the owl need a Tootsie Roll Pop to get to the center of the Tootsie? How many licks does it take? Ask that owl that, Storm, when you get out the clutches of it. You know what I mean? But I got to get up out of here. I've been having fun with you guys. I appreciate you guys coming in and with this breakdown. Of course, if you want me to do more breakdowns of upcoming shows, that I'm covering, let me know. I did it with Gen V. You know what I mean? I will do it with the boys, especially when Bel Air comes back. I will be doing Bel Air Fridays. And if Bel Air Fridays is great. Yeah, right. I guess the world would never know. But again, thank you guys for tuning in and hanging with me on this episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so you never, ever, ever miss one of my videos again. Until next time, I'll holler at you later. Peace and vibe hard, y'all. Enjoy your Wednesday. Where is my outro at? Got to give me a Tootsie Roll Pop.
Wait a minute. You're telling me the video's over?
What?
Okay, I guess so. If you have came to this portion of the video, thank you so very much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you never miss one of my videos. And if you really want to, you don't got to, go ahead and follow the social media links that's down below. Until next time, I'll let you guys later. Peace and vibe higher, y'all. Y'all take care of yourself.